Hello, greetings traveller, and welcome to Black Emerald Tactical. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Systema, PTW, CTW, STW magazines. Okay, so these are the PTS magazines for the training weapons, and we're going to talk about those because they are a nightmare sometimes to sort out. So, the magazines themselves, I found that they weren't feeding properly into my training weapon. So, heavy magazine that comes with it, nice little click, a little bit of rattle, but that's to be expected. Now this magazine, even though it was rattling, fed every single time. So I wanted some more magazines. I couldn't find any more of these, and someone suggested purchasing the PTS ones. So this is the PTS Pmags. When I had these, they did not feed. I had nothing problems. I put this on the Systema and Clone Facebook group, asking for suggestions on what can be done to fix these, or to at least help. I took the gun apart several times, couldn't figure out what was going wrong there. I had one of my teammates work his way through it. He shimmed it, still didn't do anything. So in fact we actually took the shimming out of it because we just could not get these to feed. So some people suggested springs, in which case I was then going to have to order a bunch of springs in order to get this one to fire. But someone then suggested doing what they call the hop mod. Now I just thought, oh right, so I'm just going to start adjusting the hop unit inside the gun now, is that? No, wasn't that at all. What they meant is adjusting the magazines so that they sit nicely inside the hop unit. Now with this one, the one it came with, there was a gap here, to simulate some sort of bullet effect, but it actually helped it sit nice and straight along the cylinder when the cylinder was inside the gun. With the PTS ones, there was some slight complications, so I don't know if you could see it right there, but you see how now that is nice and flat right across there. Well, that actually wasn't flat, it was actually down inside the casing by about 1 millimeter to 0.5 millimeter. So the problem is that when you were putting this inside the gun, the first round was feeding in and then no other round was feeding. So you have to hold the actual magazine up. So then we thought maybe it was a problem with this. No, it wasn't. It was that all along. So I had a look around to see what they meant about the hop mod technique, and it turns out it's quite simple. So all I needed was some sort of like hard plastic to go inside here, and I'll show you how to do it. But what I used was Comfort Lavender Bloom plastic. But you can use any plastic really, but I think washing up bottle liquids, containers, or like hand wash containers are pretty good because the plastic on them is quite, it's quite robust. It's not like squishy like a bottle. Okay, so you've got your magazine right in front of you, so the first thing we need to do is remove this backing plate. So you've got this little squishy bit here which holds it all together, so you just hold that button down like so, and slide that bit off. Okay, put that down. Next you've got this little screw. So what you want to do is you want to then take out a Phillips head. Okay, pop it inside here. Like so. Okay, you could see my cack-handedness here. My hands don't work properly. I can take it out a little bit now like this. Okay. And then what you want to do is just push down on this and it just falls out nicely. Now, I've already modded this one, so I'm going to show you how I did it. So right here, this is the bit of plastic that is from the comfort bottle. So the comfort bottle sacrificed itself for our entertainment and our usage and our need and our families and future. So all you do is you basically just need to measure this up. So cut the shape, and on the feeding on the internals, you need to then line it up. So what we did was I cut a bit of plastic, lined it up with here, then I cut it a little bit more until it actually fit nicely, as you can see on there. I know it's not focusing great quality, but you can more or less make it out, okay? Next, you take a little scissors or a knife if you've got a small enough knife, and you pierce it, okay? So you pierce it and you line it up. In fact, what you could do is you could put a black marker, mark it where it is when it's over the screw hole, mark it, pierce through that. Once you pierce through that, it should fit nicely on there, okay? So being careful then, we then reseat it. So you want to line it up with the two holes. Careful, as you can just see then, it just moved. So careful to make sure that it doesn't pop off. So just making sure. There we go. So that's nicely in position now. Take the screw, pop the screw back in with my cack-handed. With my hands don't work. Look at stator hands. Screw that in. Finish it off now with the screwdriver. Now what will happen is as it pulls the internals close to the edge of the outer shell, you'll notice that this bit is going to start lining itself a little bit more. So as you can see by there on my lip, it'll start lining up nicely. As you can see, it's looking quite flat. I know it's not focusing, but you can see it's kind of looking a little bit flatter. And that's what we want to basically get it to. We want to get it so it's nice and flat, so that it's in line with the edges of the magazine. Then we simply slide that back on, and there we go. So nice and flush across there. So this now will have a nice snappy little feel when you put it inside the gun. There'll be no wobbling, just like that. Pew 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 pew. Not far off what they sound like. So yeah, if you could just like and subscribe at the bottom. What would be really nice as well is that if you guys could leave a comment if this solution has actually helped, or if this technique has helped, I should say. If it hasn't, you might need to look at a few other things inside the gun, such as reseating the cylinder, or making sure that the upper and lower receiver are actually nice and tight together. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, I hope you do. And if you have any more requests in the future, like you'd like to see how this gun's going to look like tarted up, then please leave us a comment below. Take care and have yourself fun on the Airsoft field.